Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Big Truck Big RV hitch reducer combo. So if you're the owner of a truck with a 3-inch hitch, you've probably run into this situation where there just aren't a lot of ball mounts or hitch mounted accessories that fit that 3-inch hitch. There are some, but very often, sometimes you need a specialty ball mount. It's not something you use very often, and maybe purchasing one with a 3-inch shank really just isn't that optimal for you. In that case, having a reducer sleeve is going to be a really big help. And Big Truck Big RV has really come up with an ingenious design as far as a reducer sleeve and a reducer sleeve combo. So we have a 3-inch hitch here, and if we want to get it down to a 2.5-inch hitch, this section right here is going to do that for us. It does hold magnetically, which is really, really important, because one of the things about a hitch reducer that can often give you some issues is that when you put it in and then you put the shank of your ball mount or hitch accessory in, while you're trying to line up that pinhole, very often that your hitch reducer can slide in and out with it, and it just makes lining up your pinhole a real pain. Because of the magnets, you're not going to get that slipping around inside the hitch receiver, and because they made the pinhole more of an ovular shape, that is going to help you out in that if you don't have a factory hitch, maybe you have an aftermarket, whatever hitch you have, this should be able to line up with the holes. So we're going to go ahead and slip it right in. And as you can see, it's got a pretty good tight fit to it. You really got to give it a good amount of pull in order to get that out. So I'm not too worried about putting a ball mount in there and having to adjust it a little bit to line up that pinhole. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a 2.5-inch ball mount right here. Go ahead and get it in. And as I move it in and out, you may notice that there is no movement at all in the hitch reducer. I can slide it right into either pinhole that I have. Put in my pin and clip easily. And I'm all set up and ready to tow. Now, say for instance you needed to use a ball mount or a hitch accessory with a 2-inch shank. What you'll end up doing is grabbing this portion of your hitch reducer set. Now this is going to be a 2.5 down to 2-inch. It's made to go in conjunction with the 3 down to 2-inch. And it's going to use the same magnets on the bottom also to keep it held in place. So we're just going to go ahead and slide that through. Grab our 2-inch mount, and again, as we shift this back and forth lining up our pinhole, you'll notice that neither of our reducers are moving at all. It does a really good job of holding those in place and not fighting against us while we make adjustments to line up our pinhole. Once we have that lined up, we can run our pin through. And now we're ready to tow with our 2-inch ball mount. So as we very easily again just remove our ball mount here, we'll just take a look at how these kind of work in conjunction. Now these magnets have a pretty good hold. Luckily, they actually designed these so that we have a cutout in our 2.5 to 2-inch that allows us to grab the lip here around our 2.5 to 2-inch. And we're able to pull that and separate it from our larger reducer. We have this big collar going around the edge, and you can see where that cutout is. That gives you the lip to actually pull this all the way through, just making it a whole lot easier. But using this collar, we're able to remove the 3 down to 2.5-inch reducer right here. Now these are really, really well made also. These are a black powder coat with an E-coat, and that's really going to help us out in the long run as far as any kind of corrosion and rust resistance. The other great thing about this is a lot of reducers can actually reduce the towing capacity of your hitch. In the case of these, it will not at all. You will not lose any tongue weight capacity or towing weight capacity when you're using these reducers. And the other great thing about it too is that because they're magnetically kind of stick together, and when you're not using either one of them, you can simply put them together. They're really compact, so it's easy to store in your truck bed, under the seat in your cab, or whatever storage area you might find appropriate for it. But if after watching this video you decide that this is the hitch reducer for you, and you get it and you're able to try it out a bit, please let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Helping neighbors just like you kind of understand how this works is huge for them, and it's just going to help them make the best decision for themselves. So once again, this is Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.